all about 50% increment, yes, in tariff. We're talking about a telecommunications company. It was like a threat before. They're talking about 100% increment. The federal government met with them, they're able to bring it down to 50, still under negotiation, and Nigerians are like, complaining about it. They shouldn't go that way. If it must be done, they should consult with Nigerians and at least increase the tariff gradually. All of a sudden, bam, they did it. 50%, and that is what it is for now. The boys still talking tough, but should we take them seriously? Anyway, with me here in the studio talking about this, I have the war bishop. Yes, he calls himself that. When he starts analyzing, you get to realize that he's truly a war bishop. Join me to welcome political analyst, maker first commentator, a clergyman, Bishop Austin Igbasa. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us to the show.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
Appreciate your comment, Bishop.
Thank you so much.
All right. Very close to him is yet another bishop. He didn't tell me he's a world bishop. I don't know the category he is in right now, but he's a bishop.
I'm a servant bishop.
A servant bishop, okay, fine. Join me to welcome Bishop Bright Olumese. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio.
Thank you, Wisi. Thank you, viewers at home.
All right.
God bless you.
All right. Well, the one that is very close to me is neither a bishop, but impact knowledge. Okay.
I'm the odd one out.
The other one out. He is a prof, and he doesn't have Benin, a senior lecturer at matter. Join me to welcome Professor Owen Olobu. Thank you so much for joining me, Prof.
Good morning, Wisi.
Appreciate your comment.
Good morning, viewers at home.
All right. Let me start off with Bishop Austin Igbasa. Did it come as a surprise to you when you now saw the headlines that finally a telecom company has started doing what they threatened to do? Some called it threat when they proposed it, and they've done it. 50%, and that is what we are doing even right up to this morning. What do you feel about that move?
Well, I didn't quite agree with them because considering the economic economic situation of the nation, that is one. Then there is nowhere in the world you can do 100% increase. There is nowhere in the world you can't increase, even as a landlord, you cannot increase your rent 100%. It's only, you can only do it to people who are ignorant of the law, because there are stipulated law that are designed on how you do your business in a terrain and what you can do within a stipulated period of time. There is no part of the world where you can make an increase of 100%. I think that's aberration. Everybody knows the cost of doing business has gone up as a result of removal of subsidy and some other things, logistic. But I can tell you for free that I didn't agree. I didn't quite agree because I'm looking at the downtrodden, the poor people. These are people that the business is connected. A lot of things are connected to telecom, and they felt that we are already neck deep in it. And that was why I thought they came up with that. Because I can tell you for free, a lot of elected men in position of authority, National Assembly, all of them made their call free. They are not paying. So they made call free on the head of the masses. That the masses supposed to be the one enjoying the benefit of this policy that came through Obasanjo then. So I think that for National Assembly, I was talking on the television program yesterday, talking about creation of state. I said it is a misplaced priority. That if they are not jobless and they are not lazy, these are issues to be discussed. These are issues to talk about. Okay, we are elected by our people, representing the interests of our people. This tariff, how is this weight going to be on the people we are representing? If today we are representing them, let the people make phone free. Let the poor people have their tariff down, and we pay. Because you cannot expect a poor man on the street to make a call like a member of House of Rep. You can't expect it, because that man is going to make more call than the poor man on the street, and yet he's not paying. So I felt that, you see, a lot of things are involved with this telecom we're talking about, because the people in position of authority, they make their free phone call. And this one, all these companies have to allow the poor people, the downtrodden, to pay. It's just like the issue of electricity, where the southern are paying for what the northern people are consuming as electricity, this thing. So what I say is that even at that 50, I don't agree. But the only thing is that NSC, as it is just a toothless bulldog. And every shot you are seeing is not going to fly through anywhere.
We'll come to another dimension. Just hold on about NLC's stand on this particular issue. But you said you do not agree.
I agree, because the people in authority are making free calls.
I'll come back to you, Bishop. I'll come back to you, Bishop. All right, well, Bishop Bright, you heard Bishop Austin Igbas. I said, from what is really going on, really government officials, they have these allowances for their calls. So you can liken it to be free. But for the masses, they do not have this. All of a sudden, we walk up to 50% increment, despite the fact that Nigerians are saying no to it. We have to come back to renegotiate.
Okay, I want to lend my voice to the voice of all Nigerians condemning this act of unnecessary increments. The other day we were here discussing this. First, this is my burden. My burden is that people are neglected in this part of the world. When this proposal came, people raised their voices, and let's say the NSC, who are the umbrella body or the people, met with government officials, and they set up a 10-man committee and was given 2 weeks to review the price. That 2 weeks had not elapsed. Nigerians are already paying this 50%. It's like we don't matter. It's like this sector is bigger than being regulated. Few days ago, the House of Rep had meetings in their plenary, gave an order ordering the Minister of Communication, ordering the NCC to stop this increment. And I support the move, and I believe it is the right way to go, because what they were citing, you can only increase when your services has improved. Your services has not improved. What are you increasing? And all of that. You are in business, yes, we quite agree. But first of all, you have to justify what people are paying. People are already complaining of extortion, paying for what they don't use. For instance, you make calls don't go through, but your money is taken and all of that. When you go from Benin to Lagos, within an interval, you are cut off from your line and all of that. There is no facility. Why the increment? No investment. Now, I will tell you that all of these are just the same way government oppresses its citizen, because we don't have people who really talk for us. Now, I will MTN 2024, where I was watching the news, you can Google it, declare a profit of 4.13 billion after tax. First quarter 2024. Check Wikipedia or check Google and all of that. Now, within this period, first subsidy was already gone. You have such kind of profit after tax. Now, you just see in Nigeria, just let's take one of the biggest service provider who has over 80 million. You can imagine the kind of wealth they are swinging in. They carry this wealth, take it to their countries. Our big guys benefit because they are shareholders and leave the masses vulnerable. So that's why it's totally condemnable. We reject it. I don't believe that NSC is a toothless bulldog. I quite differ.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. As just hold on, Bishop, I will come back to you. Well, Prof, we've heard both of them. They share the same views and opinion on one hand. On the other hand, they disagree about NLC stance. Does that mean that Nigerians don't have a choice in this matter? Are we conquered in this particular issue? Because we were told that they are going to deliberate on it for 2 weeks. It's not up to 2 weeks. They did the unthinkable.
Wisin and viewers at home, I really don't want anybody to hold me to my opinions.
But it's your opinion.
I'm a free thinker, and I like to be liberal when I think and talk talk what I think is true. Nigerians are not fair to the telecommunication companies.
We're not fair to them.
We're not fair to them. Let's call a spade and not a big spoon. I bought my first line in 2001. MTN, the same line I'm using. Even if I've lost it several times, I've retrieved the same line. I've maintained the same line since 2001. I remember then we were sending an SMS for as high as 15 naira. 15 naira. And then making calls for a minute as much as 48 naira. As at 2001. Then, of course, I didn't have the money to buy a phone that could browse. I had a small techno phone that I bought for at least 17,000 naira as at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So mine was just to make and receive calls. But at some point, we started getting comparison about, oh, calls are cheaper in India and some other countries. And then, as at that time, competition, it was only MTN initial. No, it was Econet that came first. But I know I bought MTN line when MTN came from South Africa. Then our own indigenous Glo came to crash the monopoly. And that was where you could see Charlie Boy on a bike. I don't know, one of those artists took a banana, then peeled it a little, one of the adverts, peeled it, and then ate from it and kept the rest. It was Glo that brought this per second billing. Initially, if you make a call, we used to time ourselves. Yeah. 58 seconds, we would just end the call. 58 seconds, we would just end the call. That's so that you maximize your 1 minute and all that. So when Glo came, Glo gave respite to Nigerians. Glo started the per second billing. Nigerians were happy because you're actually paying for the you are not constrained to make calls for as much as. It was that I even knew how long a minute was. Nigerians were not constrained to make calls for a minute. You make your 10 seconds call.
Then how are we not being fair to these people?
Yeah, that's where I'm coming to.
Okay.
And since then, the tariff crashed. I think SMS came to 4 naira. And then I use MTN, I use Airtel, I use Glo. I think on my MTN line, currently, I'm on a business plan such that...
all right, now, you just want to go for it, but when we return from that break, you continue with your analogy. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. Now, Bishop Austin Igbasa said the telcos are not fair to Nigerians, while Bishop Bright Olume said the same thing about the telcos being fair to Nigerians, but Prof. Owen is saying we are the ones not being fair to these telecoms. Please expatiate on the explanation you were given.
Before the break, I was saying that currently, before the hike, before the 50% rise, I'm currently on a plan, or rather I was, let me put it that way, on a plan where I was paying, I think it's a business plan. I think I will be charged 20 naira for the first 1 minute. After which, I will be charged subsequently 8 naira per minute, 4 naira for SMS. When I say 8 naira per minute, it's not flat. Per second billing, a minute will amount to 8 naira. I've been on that plan for God knows how long, and I've been enjoying myself. And if we Nigerians really want to be fair to this telecommunication company, I know times are hard, but you will agree with me that many of these telecommunication companies, they have towers close to where all those masts, close to, you see them around. This mast, you see big generators there. They are practically run by diesel, as the case may be, because there is no electricity to power this plant and all that. And we must not forget one thing as Nigerians. These telecommunication companies, they are private investors.
Okay.
They came into Nigeria to make money. And be honest with ourselves. We are talking, the government is talking, NSA is crying. It was year 2023 where our president came and made a careless statement that put us in this quagmire that we are. Subsidy is gone. And petrol rose from 100 and less than 200 naira to over 1,000. That's more than 500% increase, for crying out loud.
Okay.
And we did not bring down the roof.
You've made
and
a
you
point.
expect this telecommunication company, since God knows how long, that should be before 2010.
Okay.
There have not been any increments, and you are saying that they should not. We should be fair to ourselves.
I will come back to you.
We should be fair.
Prof, I will come back
50%
to you.
increase. Your government increased fuel by over
Bishop,
500%.
Bishop,
and we did not bring down the roof.
Bishop, you
Can't
heard
be like
Prof.
this.
He said we are not being fair. After all, it was the government that started all this. Increment here, increment there. These people, they didn't touch any part of their own, costs until this particular moment. I will really be fair to them.
If you look at their operation, I give you an example of NCC in the other government of Buhari. You remember there was a sanction on MTN, and they did not obey the sanction, and they went ahead, and nothing happened. The roof didn't come down. Can they do that in South Africa? No. These are questions we should ask ourselves. These are questions, pertinent questions we must ask. Okay, you make a call, you send a text message, you have been deducted since day before yesterday. The text message bounced back to you, and nothing happened. You are making a call, the next person cannot hear, both of you are going on echo, and you are deducted here, the person is deducted there. Is the angel that will come and do that one? Now, when we travel, most time some of us who travel far, when you get over there, this thing doesn't happen. Yeah. All these things you are seeing does not happen. Go to UK, you make free call everywhere. Go to US, you have the same thing. And these are companies. What I'm saying is that what they run in their country, they don't run it here. I give you an example of Fanta we drink here. Was taken to UK and was impounded, and the person that moved it there was almost in prison. And this is what we consume here. So how do we arrive in that place where people obey law of other country, and they don't? Till today, MTN did not pay that fine, and the thing fly, and you cannot do that in their own country. So these are questions we should ask ourselves. Our people are stakeholders in that place. They don't love their people. If truly they love their people, well, you can't even collect money for a service not properly rendered in UK. You will be sanctioned. Even as a doctor, if your patient dies and it is out of your negligence, your license is seized because everything is on camera. The discussion with your patient, everything is recorded. If you malhandle your patient or you misdirect your patient and you led to something, even not death, you pay for it. So in a country where the people are to enforce it, how can you say you are enforcing something on a foreign company that violated the rule of engagement? They came in, there was a rule of engagement, there are terms of agreement that were signed. Can they do that in their country? These are questions we should ask ourselves. The people that represented our interests, do we pay for a service that is not rendered? What are the improvements have they made on their service delivery? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Now the government have taken it up to the increase. I said it here, that there was increment there. All of us know that these people that are doing business, if you know the gap between what is expended and what is income, all of us are aware of this thing. But just that I feel that Nigeria, we are the receiving end until we have people regulate the regulator of this thing. Now I ask you, what about the monitoring of the operations of this telecommunication company when Nigerians are not enjoying the service? Who sanction? Who goes about to say this is the complaint of the people? Public Complaint Commission is what customer service delivery and all that. How do they treat their customer? Yet money is going. Don't forget that their kind of business is what you cannot retrieve your money, because as soon as you load your card, whatever happened to that recharge card airtime, there's nothing you can do. You can only make noise at home. That the money is already in their coffer. So I think that you cannot expect it to be paid for a service that is not properly rendered and it's been increased. All of us are aware that those who anti the masses, I think, like I said, the masses are the conquered people here. That we don't have where to run to. That is the issue, because these things are not done elsewhere. All right. You are regulated by the law of the nation where you run your business. You are not to tell them how to do it. If you are not happy about it, you go back to your country. But you cannot say in the days of what is it called, nighttime, we have maps everywhere. We have, and those months are being run. This is not today. Before you come into our country, you are spread it out. The Bible says, who will build a house that will not count the cost of the house? You already know the radius between one mouse to another. It is not this is not rocket science. You already know that between the airwave of Oluku to 7 up, you have to match social number of miles. These are things you put together and you look at it before you come in to invest.
I'll come back to you, Bishop. All right, I'm still going to ask you the same question. You know, increment in fuel, increment in diesel, running power costs 247. I don't think really we're not being fair to them, according to Professor Owen.
Okay, no, I don't think it's the issue of being fair to them. You see, when you are dealing with a labor market as much as a customer strength of 80 million, one of those companies that pull out of this country, the reason why they pull necessarily may not be because fuel prices have increased or whatever. You look at their customer strength. They don't have the buying power. Unlike this very kind of business, where every day, see, follow the news, you will discover that when NCC declared how much went into calls and datas, they are in trillions in the hands of these telecommunication investors. The problem I have is the problem of not following laid down rules and regulations. First of all, we frown at coming to say you want to increase without good, proper negotiation. We say no. If you are to increase, let the people be carried along. It's just normal. And where I suggested the other day, by the grace of God, I've traveled. In some other clients, you don't do this. You can't do this there. Calls are made on contract. You go collect lines based on contract and all of that. And you are treated based on the contract you are. When it is violated, the process provider will pay dearly for it. Here, nobody monitor nobody. You recharge your phone right now, you have a 10,000 naira in your phone call. I said it happened to me. I called them. They said, no, there's an app running in my phone. My phone? They say it's a secret app. Secret app? These guys got me more confused. I had to cut off the call because they weren't providing the answer. Their response was more confusing me. And making me scared of my phone. All was just a shenanigan because they've waved away my money. To be honest, there is a problem. You can't begin to increase your tariff when first your services has not improved.
But
go to villages.
Hold on. There was this tariff increment in electricity. What can you say about
that?
The service?
I want to talk about that.
There is also,
no, we are not finishing. Listen, that's why I wanted to bring in.
Let him finish.
The reason why the telecommunication went into is the same thing. Electricity did it. What do people do? Nothing. Fuel price is going up. What do people do? Nothing. Nigeria, shall we continue like this? Revolution is coming where we will not be able. This is the only way we can serve in this country. That's why I was saying no, we can't fight labor. Because you are dealing with a tyrant. You are dealing with people who are democratically elected but have a military mind. And all of that, you keep negotiating. Don't stop talking. If they listen or not, but let's keep what agitating.
All right. Over now to you.
I am not holding brief for anybody, as I used to say. The telecommunication companies are not even aware that I am here. But I just like being fair too. I just like being fair. Honestly. We are talking here. I said earlier that these telecommunication companies are private investors. There's this saying that if you want to be wealthy in life, identify a problem and solve it. A group of people came, invested so much. You could, if you can remember 2000 and 2000. I think 99, 2000 when Econet came, you could see the massive investment they made by erecting masts here, doing all that and all that.
But hold on, sorry for cutting it. Don't forget about the returns. First quarter of 2024, despite the fact that there is increment in fuel, they made lots of money in dollars.
Hell of money.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on. These people have made investments. And returns are expected. For your information, these are private limited companies. there are shareholders. Just like, okay, when the banks, we are here talking, our indigenous banks here, when you hear what these banks are making every year, let's not deceive ourselves. Your ears will tingle. In spite of all the challenges that we have in these countries, when this bank will declare their profit after tax, all the banks, recently, all these our major banks in Nigeria, there is no one that has declared loss. Their profits are in billions, these banks you see. Who is talking about all that? Why are we just singling out a particular set of investors, because the banks are also owned by investors, shareholders, and the others? So why are we so concerned about telecommunication and leaving out our banks and other companies in Nigeria? Lest we forget, in the midst of all this talk about telecom increasing by 50%, me, I've not even noticed, because I use
I've noticed.
1 minute.
I have noticed.
Let me land, please. I use Airtel. I use Airtel to browse. The information that I had gathered is that MTN has increased their tariff. So I don't use MTN for browsing because the network is not good in my area. So I use Airtel to browse. While we are in the middle of all this, are you aware that your government, my government, has decided to increase, or rather, introduce a charge? If you go to withdraw money in another ATM that is not your bank, you pay 100 naira for every 20,000 naira. Nobody is discussing that. Have we ever had such things before in this life? Your government is telling a telecommunication company to pedal down on increasing their tariff, a private company for that matter. Whereas they are on their own, they are increasing the pain of the common man. Nobody is talking about that. Your government and my government, they are busy introducing all forms of tax here and there. There's this FOB, free on board. I think they suspended that one. Is it in the custom sector? Okay, you're talking here. All of us are talking here. Have you not heard of when this custom, government-owned custom, will declare profit? Have you not heard? At the end of the year, huge, humongous amount of profit. Then, JAMB will declare profit. So, wow,
everybody, it's like everybody's cashing out on Nigeria.
Yeah. So, let me tell you one thing. I quite understand our concern. We're talking about service delivery. Now, the issue here is tariff increase. 50%. I can't remember the last time these telecommunication companies increased tariff. To me, they are justified.
They are justified?
Yes, 1 minute. They are justified. Okay. What you and I should be concerned about, there's a regulator. The regulator is NCC. Yeah. The NCC, they are not doing their work. You had a problem, you made call, they took your money, and then we're supposed to have a place. NCC is not regulating the telecommunication companies well. That's why we are having issues. So the issue here is not with the telecommunication company. They are misbehaving in Nigeria because our regulators are not up to their game.
We'll come to that.
Apparently, it's a Nigerian thing. The regulators, NCC, owned by our government, is possibly conniving with these people to treat us anyhow. If you have a strong regulator, my brother, you will get quality service. Everything will be fine, like you talk about other countries where you go to. All right, thank you. Services you receive there and you enjoy yourself there is because the regulators there.
They're doing their job. Thank you so much, Prof. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. And Labour gave stringent instructions to Nigerians saying, you have to do this and do that so we can really fight for you people. How is this going to work? We'll be right back. Join us. This is TMI. We're taking a look at the 50% increase, yes, in tariff by this telco. So you could hear what my analysts are saying. It's like everyone, both internally and externally, are feasting on Nigerian citizens. Is it in the electricity power sector, energy sector, the banking sector? It's like they're just targeting Nigerian citizens, the end users, the masses. We are the ones paying for this. And we have a labor union that was meant to protect us. We have an NCC that was meant to regulate the activities of these telcos. We have bodies meant to regulate every sector of the economy, and Nigerians are suffering. Bishop Austin.
If you remember my point, I made a point about NCC giving a sanction on MTN, and by the grace of the Almighty God, everything is under the carpet now.
By the grace of Almighty God.
Yes, it has gone under the carpet. It has gone with a fact, they back and nothing happened. They didn't bite,
And there was no sanction.
No action. These are things you cannot do in other clime. That you cannot. We are still talking, Aliboti, we are on it, and many people are serving their J time somewhere in the other part of the world who participated in it.
Yeah.
So here we are, we have not been able to lay our hand on people who were part of it. Why other clime have sent their persons to jail? The question is that, you see, some of these people, a lot of persons who are in position of authority, elected authority, some of them have their portion in this company you are talking about. And why there's a lot of people go into politics today, because they have a business interest and they needed the legislation to be able to protect their interest and be able to guide their territory. And when they sit in that position, you see people come for oversight function. They've already been settled and everywhere has been said. They just come for coming sake, and then it's just pari passu. Everybody shake your hand and nobody ask about anybody any question. At the end of the day, you see that your hotel, and when you are going back, you are already taken care of. What oversight function have you come to do? That we have people who are to regulate their operations, to regulate their anomalies, to be able to call them to question. Let us ask ourselves the gospel truth that since all these companies have been operating, how many times have we seen them appearing before committees to be able to answer for all the anomalies in their operation? So anywhere you have a little noise, the noise die naturally because of the interest. Now the people that are mandated to regulate it, that are not regulating them, are they doing it for free? The people that are supposed to take action, who are doing oversight over these people that are not doing oversight, are they just being docile? They are not just docile. It is a calculated attempt because everybody have gotten their own share of the network. So it is only the masses. When you shout to the rooftop, nothing happens. Just like my brother mentioned about bank, we would have talked about bank just because it was not our topic. That is why I didn't delve into it, because I know that. But when you have a transaction, you are sent a message now that somebody sent you money. Both on both sides, people are debited. You are debited. And we have been shouting this one. We are talking. Even do you know how much the banking operation and the telecom, the network they are inside, is like husband and wife. They are like banking operations and these telecom people. Yes. They are like husband and wife. Yeah. That the link they have, they make money, and this is also on the masses. Or come to the masses. The masses is at the receiving end. Now, what do we do when we have people who represent us? When we have committee in House of Assembly who oversight telecommunication, in National Assembly we have people who oversight it. Now in NCC, we suppose NCC elsewhere are feared in other climb. That is when we say NCC in another country.
Another country,
Yes, who regulated.
Yes.
You fear them.
Yes.
I remember I was in South Korea when there was supposed to be a match. A little infraction, if you see everything, what took place, I was asking myself, if it is in Nigeria, and this is not an issue. Someone say it's not an issue. Something that is not you see it, the way it was taken up and up, because don't forget that this telecom regulate every aspect of our life, both medical, both banking, everything. So they know we are neck deep inside. They know Nigeria that when you hit them hard or something, they shout. When there is no respite, everybody comes
down. Okay. Well, as it stands right now, it's like Nigerians have been conquered in this particular aspect. Is it in the power sector? Is it in telecommunications? Is it in energy, agriculture? It's like Nigerians are just there, just looking. Does it mean that anyone can talk on behalf of the masses
Bishop Bright?
Okay, I don't think Nigerians are conquered. I only think that Nigerians are learning in the hard way.
They're learning the hard way, not conquered.
They are not conquered. This is only going to produce a better Nigeria.
Amen.
Very soon, time is come where people will demand accountability for people before they are elected because they've learned their lesson. I'm telling you, this is not the issue of being conquered. It's the issue of being people waking up to the reality. It's coming to that place where all these people know that there is a serious RG, let me use that language, between government and these social providers. People awareness are growing bigger. I can tell you big shareholders in MTN are in government, and it covers the government.
Yes, sir.
This increment, we will not leave ASU away from this telecommunication increment. Because the other day we heard over the news that ASU national chairman said that they recommend to government that telecommunication cost should be taxed so that they can use it to sponsor academic. But the federal government went to be taxing those telecommunication, and the academic were not sponsored. Are not being no investment there. The money are in private pockets, and all of that. So you discover that this shenanigan thinking of how to extort common man is the business of the elites. They just sit together and say, what's the next night is water. Maybe this water we are drinking. Very soon be ready to pay tax for boreholes in your compound. When government has failed to produce pipe bore water, you produce a borehole, you will soon be told right now there is a VAT that you ought to pay to government so that the elite can share more money. Because right now it's as if the elite coffer is swearing. There used to be very few. Now it's like more people are, coming into that elite. So now,
want to become an elite.
At the end of the day, who are the receiving end? The masses. But let me tell you, they are not being conquered. They are learning in the hard way. Rome was not built in a day. Very soon, you as member of House of Rep will go to your community to campaign. Somebody you thought was illiterate yesterday is not literate. We ask you basic questions. Very soon, the elite should keep on doing what they are doing. We are only being trained in the hard way. We are being trained like we are going through military training. It's quite unfortunate that this will further plunge the country to more hardship. More hardship. The cost of data have increased. Many businesses that fly on data, many businesses that flies on calls, many businesses that are helped by this call are going to suffer. Right. Because we have government that is insensitive to the plight of its people. Right. Other countries, there is subsidy. Subsidy is not a bad thing. That you are not subsidizing oil, you can subsidize food.
I'll come back to you.
You can subsidize other basic necessities.
Over now to you, Prof. Hold on, Bishop. Over now to you, Prof. Because as it stands right now, Labour is saying Nigerians don't buy data for now. Nigerians were going to block the mass of these various telecom companies. Nigerians, we are working for you. I don't get it.
We seen. Nigeria is a country of dog shop dog. All of us are looking for opportunity to feast on ourselves. All of us, your brother is looking for opportunity to take advantage of you, to cheat you, in business or in anything. We're talking here. When this government introduced the charge of 50 naira for every 10,000 naira you transfer to another bank, who has said anything about it? What has happened to that? We are paying quietly. Our government introduced a charge of 50 naira for every 10,000 naira that leaves my account. Once the money lands in your account, it becomes 9,950 naira because your bank will just charge you 50 naira. So if you want to send somebody 10,000 naira for a 10,000 naira purpose, ensure that you add that 50 naira. NSC is talking. Who is NSC? I really don't understand. Just here, 15 naira was added. They say, oh, if you transfer money, they will charge you. What did the NSA do about it? Nothing. They didn't even make noise. They didn't even make noise. They didn't even threaten anything. 100 naira charge for ATM. Once you use another bank ATM, you pay 100 naira. Exploitation. NSC didn't say anything about it. In this country where you and I are residing, I will be here by the grace of God. Rice rose from 20,000 naira to, I was buying Wow. Wow became 130,000 naira. I had to run away to go and buy Optimo. My wife told me recently that Wow has not come back to 100,000. So I'm considering going for Wow.
Anyway, we're going to talk about brand, right? Let's get the brand out of it.
Wait, all these things are happening here. And NSC didn't do anything about all these things. Fuel went from less than 200 naira to over 1,000 naira. NSC back as usual. Whoa. Nothing happened. Bande electricity, they moved university, or they moved us. University of Benin, we woke up one day, and our vice chancellor was asked to pay 280 million naira from 80-something thousand naira. 84 million rather. God, our university was thrown into darkness for close to a month because we couldn't pay. Where would the vice chancellor raise that kind of money from? As I'm talking to you now, my university is even having problem subsidizing the band. NSC is not doing anything about it, and NSC is coming to tell us, Nigerians, data is not. How were we surviving before 1999? Have you asked yourself how we survived without data and calls before 1999? Have you asked yourself before Obasanjo came? Have you asked yourself, we were going to people's houses to wait for calls from abroad? We were writing letters. Our post office were functional. All that, my brothers, let me tell you guys here, this is a private business.
All right.
And I think NSC, I'm not saying there's a regulator, which is the NCC. Well, all these people you see, let me just tell you, what if I tell you, we see, that all this negotiation that you are hearing that is going on, National Assembly is negotiating with the people, what if I tell you the negotiation is, how much will be my cut for this increment? What if I tell you that? Are you not aware that in this country,
thank you,
there was an allegation that the vice chancellors of universities were asked to produce about 400 and something million naira to give to the subcommittee, subcommittee on education before they could approve their budget. Did you know that? Did you know it?
Thank you.
All this talk of, they are doing this.
Prof, thank you.
It's not for you. They are negotiating with the telecom company.
Prof, thank you.
How much should be my cut?
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Well,
nonsense.
We have to join Abuja right now. Before that, you're going to have a minute each to advise Nigerians, because it sounds like what you said, we're learning the hard way. Somebody say, we are conquered already. Bishop, what can we do?
So Nigerians, I want us to say we will continue to talk.
Yes.
We'll continue to talk because, like I said to you, don't forget that this communication you're talking about, this company, they might have 50% in their mind. This is what runs in Nigeria. That when they tell the people around, say, we want to increase 50%, say, oh, but take it to 100%. So that when the people are shouting, we will say, bring it to 50. That's like the way they do in labor. There's a labor leader at that time that negotiate with them. When they want to increase for it, say, take it to up. So I will shout and mess up your name. We will take it back to what you have in mind. So this is caricature. I think that Nigerians must wake up now to know that we must take our destiny in our hand, and there must be accountability.
Thank you, Bishop.
You remember what happened in Edo State here? Just like my bishop brother said, that we must revolutionize our mind. People went ahead to vote for somebody as a senator of Edo South in the name of shifting the goalposts. Today, we don't know our senator face to face.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bishop and Bishop Bright. Briefly.
Okay, briefly, I want to support NSC. You are doing well. Keep doing well. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
please.
All right, it's your opinion.
NSC is trying to solve a problem that is really deep. I want to encourage all Nigeria, support NSC. Number one, I agree with this boycott of all anti-call data from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. First of all, see, we must look for how to solve it. The power must return back to people. If we solve one problem, we can solve others.
Thank you.
We are not the conquered people. We are learning
the hard way. Thank you, Bishop. Prof, 1 minute quickly.
Nigerians, do the one way you feel do. Sorry. Do what you can do.
Do the best you can do.
Yes, do the best you can do.
Yeah.
It is not. There's a TikToker, somebody who does TikTok videos. Recently, she was not posting too well. Somebody asked, he said, data has increased. She's posting as much as she can do. Don't kill yourself. Buy the data that you can buy. If you finish, you rest, you have money to buy more. This country, we pray that God, because it's only God that can save us.
Thank you.
That's my opinion.
Well,
Nigerians, it is well.
It is well. Well, they've done it, and Labour is giving orders, telling us what to do on how to fight back. But if you go down memory lane, the history of Labour, all fight they've...
We are winning this time. Don't leave memory lane.
It was memory lane.
Yes. For
Why you want to win?
we are winning now.
Private company.
Yes, Bishop, thank you.
Have faith.